Pleasure to welcome in the icon, Harvey Weisenberg, ex-policeman, lifeguard, city council member, assemblyman, just recently honored, and Harvey was front and center Friday night speaking at the Long Beach International Film Festival, and Harvey was great to see you up there, and great to see you representing Long Beach at the film festival.
Well, it was a privilege. The film festival, to me, is a very, very important event. And many years ago, we had more of Long Beach's participation. Actually, the resources that we had on our beach, it was wonderful and an opportunity for the residents of our community to be able to enjoy the opportunity for the film festival. And I had a discussion with the person in charge, and I said how wonderful it is to have a film festival. The diversity of programs that are being exposed and talked about and brought about, and the human stories that are there, where with all the films and shorts and subject matter that was exposed, I was very much aware, as a parent of a special child and a strong advocate, that I certainly would have liked to see one thing mentioned about people with disabilities. Because you see, the city of Long Beach is probably the best equipped and most sensitive community in the state of New York, or I don't know of any in the country, that is more exposed and caring, that works together to offer opportunities to focus on the beauty of our special children and the beauty of the people who take care of them, and the resources that we have to show and expose how wonderful what special children can do, not what they can't do. And that, to me, is such an educational resource for so many families throughout this country. And it's all positive. So maybe in the near future. And I make an offer, because I have a best-selling book called For the Love of a Child. And I'm offering on the media, if you will, at this time, an opportunity for somebody to be able to take a look, to be able to publicize the fact that we have a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to show the beauty of our special children and the beauty of the people who take care of them, and to show you the unbelievable programs that Long Beach offers for people with disabilities. Nowhere in this country are you going to find people, experienced, caring people working together to show what our children can do. And the love, the unconditional love that you get from a special child is like no other life experience. We want to make that public.
All right, Harvey, let's talk about the Elovitch Run. I know Larry Elovitch was a near and dear friend of yours for decades in Long Beach. And let's talk about that great event, the Elovitch Run.
Well, we have, Long Beach people have the sand in their shoes, so I guess there's 4 generations of the Elovitch family, the Kohut family, the Weisenberg family. Anyway, Long Beach people, as I say the expression goes, have the sand in our shoes, we don't leave. But nobody loved and cared more for our city than Larry Elovitch and his family, Stanley Fleischman and his family. And this day, the 3rd of August, happened to be the anniversary of Harvey and Ellen Weisenberg. My wife passed away 3 years ago. But you know, I made a little statement that day, and I'm saying it again. I'm not mourning the loss of Stanley Fleischman and Elovitch and my wife. I celebrate the fact that I had a lifetime opportunity to meet such wonderful people, such good, caring people. And they were the backbones in these families. We can go through a lot of people who lived here for so many years and did so much for our city, our schools, our hospitals. So that's what made and makes Long Beach so strong. It's a city of love and caring.
And the Elovitch Run had to be a wonderful event that took place. And Harvey, you were front and center leading the way.
Well, I gotta say, we had some wonderful people that come and always do. Tom DiNapoli. Tom DiNapoli is the controller of the state of New York. Tom DiNapoli got the most votes in the state of New York from anybody who was running statewide. He got over 4 million votes, loved throughout the state. Peter King, who was there saying what he feels and what he thinks. And this is not a political endorsement, but a personal endorsement, because he is a person that belongs in government, because he makes decisions as what he feels is best, not for a political party, but for the people. And of course, Alphonse D'Amato. He did so much for so many in his time served as a senator in New York. And I'll tell you, if anything was needed in our region or in New York, especially downstate and for the island, Al D'Amato was there to deliver the best he could. So we should be grateful and thankful. And yet they all came down to honor our good friend Larry Elovich and the Elovich family, the beautiful family that still has got the sand in their shoes.
Wonderful. And the last thing I want to talk to my good friend Harvey about is, we all know about the terrible tragedy that hit this weekend. Two more it's really mind-boggling that we'd be talking about two mass shootings in the same weekend, one in El Paso, Texas, and one in Dayton, Ohio. And Harvey, you were front and center of dealing with, it wasn't a mass shooting, but it was devastating. Hurricane Sandy devastated Long Beach like no other storm. People lost their homes, their businesses. We lost the Long Beach Hospital. It was a devastating storm. And it took community leaders like yourself to help raise the community after such a devastating storm. Talk about what it was like getting involved in the community, lifting people's spirits, and helping Long Beach heal after the devastating effects of Hurricane Sandy.
Well, the people from Long Beach, as many people should know, we have a population of approximately 35,000. The Long Beach Barrier Island has a population of approximately 45,000. We're 3 miles long and a half a mile wide, the city. The devastation that took place, and it's interesting, the diversity of our population is very interesting. But we're a community, as I said, of 35,000 people. We have people of color, we have people of different religions, and it's just amazing. And I grew up here, my whole life is here, and we witnessed and experienced that when the Catholic school was built, the Jewish people were very much involved. When the Black church burnt down, everybody in the community helped rebuild the Black church. I mean, everybody cares and works together. And boy, I tell you, there was an example that we were admired because we had volunteers from all over the country come here. It was amazing. People from Texas and Tennessee. I mean, they were in our houses speaking to us. In our firehouses, we had fires and direct caregivers from every part of the state of New York and part of the country. And they were so impressed because we had people who were just giving to each other. Those who had nothing got something. I mean, we had any kind of an electrical system where somebody had a generator. They were cooking food for things. I went to the Martin Luther King Center because the kids were going back to school, but nobody could cook. They had no hot food. So they opened the kitchen in the MLK Center. James Hodge, a director over there, told me that they didn't have any food. They were running out of food. So my wife and I gave them $10,000 for food. And I'm saying, my whole life, I work 2 jobs and you save money. But I'm saying, what was more important than feeding our kids? But together, the success that we had was admired by the people that were here, and how grateful we are for all those people that were here to help each other. But this tragedy, this is upsetting to me. We're not a third world nation where this behavior and this action. We're talking about mental health. Let's talk about mental health. I want to tell you, in the state of New York, we just don't get the resources. And we have to make people aware and educate and treat and prevent, rather than to have to put people in jail for their misbehavior and nobody is taking care of those who need it the most. Let's prioritize what has to be done. I mean, we need social workers, we need teachers of sensitivity and professional people to be able to prevent these things from happening. And what bothers me, and I'm sharing this with you, are people that are friendly with the people that are doing these misdeeds, but they don't say anything. They don't expose the fact. I mean, if somebody, and again, I was a teacher, an educator in the East Meadow School District for over 20 years. I taught special education and was a school administrator. But if we had any kind of an indication that somebody was in trouble, we had a social worker there, we had a psychologist there, we made contact with their families to make sure that we can prevent the things that are taking place today. And I'm talking about being a police officer. I want to tell you, these cops and these first responders that had to do what had to be done there will never be the same from what they life experience that they just went through. And I want you to understand, it takes so much out of your life and your quality of life when you see the people that are there suffering. I just feel badly, but I don't understand, and I'm saying this on a public forum. We don't need guns for mass killing. That's not a needed or a purpose for people to hold these assault weapons. And we have to do something to prevent this kind of shootings. And the answer really is working together. And it's not politics, it's not Democrat or Republican. It's goddamn it, it's plain intelligence. And if you get a check from somebody who sponsors this behavior where they want mass weapons of mass destruction, then tear the goddamn check up. Don't be involved. You're an elected official. You think about the consequences of what is being done in our society.
Well said, Harvey. And that is the Weisenberg perspective.